Hi everyone and welcome to my video. My name is Angelica and I'm a botanical artist and photographer, and I love printmaking and plants like every elder millennial does. I often feel silly making videos about myself, but in this case I decided to show you some of my printmaking and gardening, hoping to inspire you a bit and maybe do it for yourself one day. In this day and age of AI and online presence, there's nothing better than putting your hands in the dirt or ink, or even better, both, not at the same time though. Anyway, in this video I'll tell you about Toyobo printing and a bit about my new garden. This is just gonna be a slow, chill video, so if you're into that, this is for you. So, Toyobo printing. What is a Toyobo print? Well, in short, it is a Japanese technique that I think is relatively new to the printmaking world, and it is basically a photographic etching. You'll use a metallic plate with a photosensitive layer on top of it, and then you'll expose a picture onto the plate. That is what I'm doing here right now. You can see me cutting up these plates, which is really annoying because they are really thick. And here I am vacuuming them and making a mistake because I make a lot of mistakes in this process because I've done this not so many times. I did a workshop in this 5 years ago and made like a few plates ever since. And here I'm checking if the pictures are aligned correctly with the plates. Otherwise you might miss a bit when the UV light comes on. And here comes the hardest part, which is washing out the plate, because when you put it in water, it's going to develop. And this is a very crucial part of this technique. And what you'll see me doing here, what went wrong, which I didn't know yet, was sponging away way too quickly. And it turned out to have all these weird little dots that you can see on screen as well, which was such a bummer. So I ended up remaking these plates, but I wanted to test them anyway onto the printing. So the process is quite the same as a normal etching, and you might not be familiar with that technique, which I understand. Basically, because of the exposure, the image has been engraved into the plate. So to get a print, you'll have to put some really thick etching ink into the engraving and then just clean it out. Like clean the plate in a very long time till there is only the bare minimum of ink inside of the engraving, or whatever you like. If you like a darker print, you can leave more ink on, but if you leave on not enough, then it will be a very light print without any details, and if you put too much ink on, it's basically the same. So it's quite a lengthy process to get a good print. So it's Monday, I'm going to volunteer at the printmaking studio, and I really don't feel like doing anything. I'm really tired. I had a wedding on Saturday to shoot. I'm a wedding photographer. It was wonderful, but I'm so tired now. And yesterday I had like a birthday and stuff like that, you know. I'm really noticing I am getting old. My body is broken. And I went for a run and I have to work out this afternoon as well. Yay! Anyway, so today I am going to try and expose the plates again and see where the weird dots are coming from. I'm still not sure what the problem is. I am thinking right now it might be the big roller because as soon as I did that, the little dots appeared, and I don't think it's something that went wrong with the exposing or the bath with water, but I'm not sure yet. And there's just not much information on the internet about Toyobo printing, so I couldn't really find a solution. So I'm just gonna try again and hope for the best. It is quite an expensive technique, so I really hope they'll be okay today. I'm not gonna print them. I'm gonna do that on Thursday, I think. But let's just see. Dank u. Met de spater lekker in het water. I found this video a little bit hard to make because it was weird what to show and what not. I have filmed a lot of things in the garden, and I think I'm gonna make a proper garden video at the end of summer. It will have changed quite a bit ever since the last garden video. It has already changed so much over the last 2 months. It doesn't look too good at this point, to be honest. There are lots of gaps and lots of dried old plants. It's been very hot this summer, very early on as well. And I have a south-facing garden, which means it gets dry. It gets so hot and so dry. And I have planted some trees like a fig tree and a ginkgo tree, but they still need to grow. So they're not giving any shadow yet. That can take many years. I have just felt very, very unmotivated this summer. And not just for gardening, but also for everything else, like drawing, printmaking, sewing. I actually still want to sew more. I used to do that. If you've been here since my sewing days, I used to make lots of sewing videos on YouTube. That's gone now. I don't really sew anymore, and I really want to sew more because I've got so many fabrics and so many projects that I want to make. I just feel completely unmotivated to do anything, which is quite frustrating, honestly. Just felt like letting you know. We're all human, I guess. But this week I felt like gardening again, and I pulled out lots of weeds, and I even ordered more plants. And they're coming tomorrow. I'm gonna film that this one. But I've ordered 43 plants. It was very cheap, and they're almost all organic as well. So it was a really good deal. And I'm gonna get some compost later on today because I feel like it needs so much more nutrition. It's so dried out and everything is not doing well and just annoying. And the veggie garden, veggie patch, whatever you like to call it, is doing okay. I had just removed my mini cucumber plant because it was all dried out and not doing much anymore. And all the cucumbers that I harvested were very bitter, and I think I read about that. It's something that can happen a lot, and the weather has been very tricky as well, so I just decided to get rid of it. I also tried sugar snaps, but they stayed very, very small. So when it was all dried out and, you know, done, I just removed it and sowed some more beets. I have harvested a few beets now, I think around 10 beets, but they're all very, very small. No matter what I do, sometimes I just put them back and hope they'll grow bigger, but they're not really growing bigger. And I'm not sure if that's because of the kind of beets. There are like the choca beets and the different kind of mixes and colors. Or maybe it's like the ground might not be too deep, or I've planted them too deep to sow the seeds. Yeah, not sure yet, but I do really love beets, so I really want to continue growing those also next year. And I've just sown more for this autumn. Zucchinis are doing okay. It's so funny, what I have already noticed is that you can, I forgot the English term for this, but like pre-sow things inside. But eventually it doesn't really matter that much. Maybe for tomato plants, but like the zucchinis, I just had 2 seeds that I just put in straight into the ground, and they are now thriving. So, you know, sometimes it just doesn't have to be that hard. But I'll go on a lengthy rant about all that in a proper garden video. I also have finally had a hedgehog in my garden. I haven't seen it yet because I was on holiday and my parents were here in my house, but I'm really hoping he'll come back. So cute. It really was honestly a big garden goal of mine to have a hedgehog in my garden. And yeah, I made a video about printmaking. And I really want to continue in the Toyobo process and make more Toyobo etchings. I really love it. It's such a beautiful, beautiful way of making art, printmaking. And I still have to do a voiceover, but I think I'm going to talk about making art that feels easy. And for me, that is like making botanical art, art inspired by flowers, making pictures of things I've grown in my own garden. For some reason it also feels very silly because I've been to art school and you have to make art that means things and is very conceptual and you know, but honestly I am sick of that. I just want to make pretty things, which is, you know, why I only make things with flowers nowadays, or puffins. Also very funny because I went to England for my holiday with friends and we visited a lot of like cute coastal towns, and what I've noticed is that the printmaking scene is so much bigger there than it is here. And they love puffins, of course, because they have puffins just like I do. So that was fun, and I really feel like I should talk more, but I don't really know about what. And I think this video is already quite long enough. I probably won't make a lot of videos in the future because honestly, with everything going on in the world, making videos feels kind of silly. But I do really want to inspire people to make art and make art that feels nice and fulfilling and just for fun. Making art can be fun, and I think that's still a very important message, probably even more nowadays. So good to just get out of that screen life and, you know, remove yourself from a screen, whatever screen it is, and pick up a book, go gardening, go for a run, go and make art, go and sew things. Please. I feel like that's my main message of this channel. Even though I just have a few followers, but you know, still, I think that's my main message that I want to give to you is please never stop making things and show the world all the things you make, just like I do. They may not be perfect, and that's totally fine. And thank you for watching.